table, Your Honor, or the podium? What's your...
The table, but
Oh.
Mr. Estelle, please remove your coat.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, 24004134, people versus Jalen Dale, we're here for such a second.
Good morning, Your Honor. Andrew Tyler for the people, P87431.
Good morning, Your Honor. Daniel Finwall, P66421, on behalf of Mr. Estelle. Mr. Estelle, please state your name for the record.
First name Jalen, last name Estelle.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
We're here for sentencing counsel.
Yes, Your Honor, and I have had a chance to review the pre-sentence investigation recommendation report with my client. There's no additions, corrections, or deletions. We'd ask the court to adopt that recommendation. I did want to discuss the fines and costs possibly at some point.
Okay. Mr. Tyler?
Your Honor, I do not have a copy of the pre-sentence investigation. Is there one that I could be provided? Thank you.
Anyone for the files?
If I could just get 1 second. Your Honor, I'm ready when you are.
Okay.
The people have had a chance to review the pre-sentence investigation report. No additions, revisions, or deletions. This is a Cobb's to HIDA. So the people would just ask that the court follow that Cobb's evaluation.
Your Honor, if I may, I want to apologize for the sunglasses. I left my regular glasses in the car and I need them to see.
Anything on behalf of Mr. Estelle?
Yes, Your Honor, he's a young man. I would indicate his mother is also present in the courtroom. She's a 911 operator for the Detroit Police.
Welcome.
And I mean, he's gotten in a little trouble the last few years, but I have confidence this kid's going to turn it around. I've had some discussions with him. He's working 30 hours at McDonald's, but he has higher aspirations, obviously. And I think it's important. He's got some stuff on his record, but if we could keep this off his record. The incident itself was kind of ridiculous. He got pulled over and he was on a lawn in a car and for whatever reason just took off. And all he had to do was sit there. It would have written him a ticket or something. So, I mean, the underlying incident was basically nothing, a traffic incident. So I've informed him, it's dangerous. You run from the police, and I think he's learned his lesson, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Estelle, was there anything you'd like to say?
No, ma'am.
Well, you have had quite a run, Mr. Estelle, for your young life. Fortunately, not anything violent, but still, it's concerning. And I said I would give you Homes Youthful Training Act status, and I will. And I feel like I need to keep a very close watch on you. So you're going to be on probation for 3 years. And
Your Honor, if I may, I believe the agreement was 2 years under Cobb's probation.
did I say 2? It's not here on the
Yeah, I've got the
report. Does that need to be a recommendation? I mean, does the cops need to be corrected on the report?
Oh, was your notes during the Cobb's 3 years?
No, it just was HIDA.
Yeah, and the recommendation, it was a 2-year recommendation.
Yeah, that's their recommendation, which I'm rejecting in this case.
Yes, Your Honor.
So it'll be 3 years, but if you're doing really well, you can, and you probably don't even need to ask, but you can ask your agent to submit a request to the court to discharge you early at your halfway mark. So after 1.5 years. And I'd be happy to do that if you're doing well, if you're complying with all of the provisions of your probation. I need to stress to you, Mr. Estelle, because this is not your first time around. It's not even your first HIDA, if I'm recalling correctly. If you come back before me on another case, I'm probably going to revoke your HIDA and send you to jail. Maybe even prison. It really depends on what the situation is. But your criminal streak needs to be behind you, because from this day forward, it starts to get really serious for you. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So it'll be 3 years probation under Homes Youthful Training Act. There'll be $130 crime victims assessment, $68 state felony costs. You were living with mom, correct, Mr. Estelle?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, if I may, I would like to indicate he works 30 hours a week at McDonald's. You know, money's tight. If he could help with any of the court costs, it'd be appreciated. He's got a couple other matters that are going to cost him some money too. Him and mom.
Yeah, I would imagine that a lot of that would fall to your mother. I'm not sure how you feel about that, since she wasn't the one out there doing crime. But I will waive half of the court costs, which is within my discretion. Some of the other costs are not within my discretion to change.
Thank you, Your
So
Honor.
there'll be $130 crime victims assessment, a $650 court costs, $68 felony costs, and $30 per month for your supervision fee. For 3 years, that's going to be $1,080. Thank you. I need the exercise.
Oh.
And I'm going to adopt the recommendations of the Department of Corrections that are not inconsistent with what I just ruled. Those are on page 2 of the pre-sentence investigation report. Do you have any questions, Mr. Stowe?
No, ma'am, I have no questions for you.
Oh, well, hopefully you won't be back before me on a probation violation allegation. But if you're ever back before me, make sure you stand every time you're addressing the court. It's not because I have an ego. It's because it shows respect for the court, not me.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Okay? So if you don't have any questions, you have 42 days from today's date to ask the Court of Appeals no. No, he's under HIDA. You don't get the appellate spiel that I would normally give. And hopefully you'll never get it. You'll get it if a conviction enters, which would mean that you haven't been successful as a HIDA trainee, okay? There's nothing else.
Nothing
You'll
else.
be
Your
in touch with your agent. I wish you well. Thank you. We're off the record. All right. I indicated that we would have 20 minutes for each side of voir dire. And if there are no other issues to discuss, I'm going to bring the jury in. Anything?
Yes, Your Honor.
What is that?
Mr. Little has some motions in limine. I believe they've already been addressed by the court, but he wants to relitigate and bring them up.
I'm not really sure at this juncture why you're even speaking, Mr. Marshall. Mr. Little, this isn't the time for motions. Motion period is long past. This is the date for your jury trial. You've been aware of the date for quite a long time. In fact, this is the second date. So there's no motions.
What date?
This is the second date for your jury trial. So there are no motions. I'm not entertaining any motions. And we're going to bring a jury in right now. By the way, for the record, I don't even see any motions that have been filed.
Right.
Okay. Let's call the jury.